The Museum for Industrial Culture is located in the southeastern part of Nuremberg, right next to the hall of the former Tafel Metalworks. The institution, housed in the screw production hall of the old Julius Tafel iron rolling mill, portrays the structural transformation of Nuremberg from a city of heavy industry and Bavaria's most important industrial center into a city of research, services, and science. One major focus, the development of digitalization and automation, from the first fully functional digital computer, known as a Zuse, to the Fourth Industrial Revolution. The museum started with a project group in the early 1980s and was ultimately founded as an institution in 1988. Industrial culture was an entirely novel concept at the time and was significantly shaped by Nuremberg's chief cultural officer, Dr. Hermann Glaser. The museum presents industrial development and urban development, but also everyday lives of the people behind the machines. You can find out how they lived, partied, played sports, spent their leisure time. That means the museum is not dedicated solely to the history of the industry and technology. It embraces these other aspects as well, which is what industrial culture is all about. Museum Row takes you on a roughly 100-meter stroll through time, past historic bicycle shops and the clubhouse, much like the places that fans and working-class athletes would have frequented in the 1920s. Triumph, Sundap, Hercules. The Museum for Industrial Culture has an impressive collection of motorcycles and bicycles, evidence of Nuremberg's importance as a center of the German two-wheeler industry. Many a visitor encounters a pang of nostalgia here. How did people wash, cook, live? The museum shows something of all of this, as here, for example, with a kitchen from Frankfurt in the 1920s. The Museum for Industrial Culture has what is probably the most extensive collection of computers in Bavaria. One important subset here is the historic group of game computers and video games. Tetris, Pong, Atari, Magnavox, Donkey Kong, Nintendo. Here you can dive into the history of 40 years of computer games. One of the museum's most popular areas for young visitors, because here you can not only look at these rarities inside a display case, but even try out some of them yourself. The video game collection at the Museum for Industrial Culture is open every Sunday, except the first Sunday of the month, and every Tuesday during school holidays. The museum regularly conceives special exhibitions, in part also to show what other treasures still lie hidden in the storerooms, simply because there's not enough space on the museum floor. Some 45,000 fans of history and technology visit the Museum for Industrial Culture every year. You will be very welcome too.